Welcome everyone to our virtual co-working and write-in/edit-in event. I am Coral Sands, the Municipal Liaison of the Illinois Elsewhere region on NaNoWriMo.org. Now, November is the start of a 50,000 word challenge where writers around the world attempt to write 50,000 words in only 30 days. There are many ways to achieve success, but I really love write-in events. Before I get to that, I want to give you a heads up of the upcoming streaming calendar. We're still doing like bi-monthly or bi-weekly, I guess it would be. So February 4th, February 18th, we're doing step 6 and 7 of Now What workbook. And then in March, we're going to be doing prep for Camp Nano. And in April, we will be doing Camp Nano, and that'll be weekly on Sundays. So keep an eye on the schedule events on NaNoWriMo.org so you do not miss it. Also, instead of Bunny Camp, we will be featuring an adoption corner. This week we're featuring Gable, named after the novel Anne of Green Gables. And if you're in the Chicagoland area, Fur Angels Animal Sanctuary has mini rabbits, just like Gable. If you're looking for families to take on these special buns, please go to furangelsas.com to submit an application today. Now, with all that housekeeping out of the way, let's talk about what we're going to do today. As I mentioned earlier, I love write-in events. For mine, I post prompts followed by short bursts of break time so that we can get in a lot of writing. Think of this as a 1-hour marathon of writing. Same for editing. This will be live on Twitch and YouTube, but feel free to watch the VOD, the video on demand, after so you can pause if you need more time. To start us off for our warm-up, we are going to do a 5-minute sprint just to get the creative juices going. And for prompt 1, we are going to experiment with POV. So whatever POV that you have for that current chapter, try to switch it up and see if maybe it, as an experiment, to see if maybe it works. Great. All right, let's do it. 5 minutes on the clock. Let's do this. Okay. Okay, so I had this chapter is now. What if I tried to make this chapter? The next chapter is Jasper's. So All right, that ding means it is time for our break. And we are going to enjoy our bunny adoption corner. This is Gable. Gable is a adorable mini Rex. He is 2 years old and a gorgeous bunny. The best thing about him is he loves to be pet. I'm talking, he would let you pet him for 2 hours if you would do so. And his fur is the softest, like a cloud, a velvet cloud. It is the softest fur. I love Rexes. Rexes are wonderful bunnies, and they have great personalities. And he is curious and love and definitely wants to be spoiled. So he is phenomenal. He is available for adoption through Fur Angels Animal Sanctuary, and I'm really excited because our other foster just got into a foster to adopt situation, and I'm hoping he will find the same because I actually had Gable first, and I'm so surprised he hasn't gotten a single application, and we need to change this. All right. So let's also, let me give you a heads up on our next prompt. We are going to rewrite a scene using all 5 senses. So it's just that. Try to use as many of the senses as you can. If you can use all 5, that's wonderful. And I think that I am going to rewrite this scene. Okay. So let's see what we can do. This scene is the one that I'm going to work on. All right, we have 10 minutes. Let's see. Jasper's nerves always show themselves right before a show. Mm-hmm. And that time means it is time for our adoption corner. All right. There we are. It's adorable Gable. Let me know how you did in that next sprint. Or in our last sprint, rather. It's always interesting to try to add in as many different senses because you don't do that as often, and it can really bring a scene alive. So that was definitely hard to do, and I'm gonna need to go through more scenes and do the same thing again. But yes, sweet Gable. He is just a precious. As I said, it's so surprising that I do not have a single application for this boy. He is the sweetest. And normally, the bunnies that I get range in personalities and things like that, but Gable is the best boy. He has he's a very curious boy. He wants to play. He loves his stacking cups. He also loves his little teddy bear. He grooms his teddy bear, so that tells me he's probably a great match for a friend. We did do this is a little longer, so let me really quickly go in to talk about our very next thing. Scenes in a novel are made up of a mix of dialogue, characters talking, action, characters doing stuff, and narrative, characters thinking, description, and backstory, etc. Here's an example on the page. You can go ahead and read it at your leisure. A scene of just dialogue flows really fast. A scene with all narrative moves very slowly. It's your job as an author to figure out what kind of balance best suits your senses. So, choose a scene in your novel. 3 different colored pens, highlighters, fonts, whatever. Use one color to highlight dialogue, another to highlight action, the third to highlight narrative. What do you notice about the scene? Is it unbalanced in any way? And if so, is that imbalance created the effect and rhythm that you want? Or is it something you'd like to improve? Which parts are you interested in? Which parts do you find yourself skipping? Reading out loud is a good way to figure this out. So, I am going to do the same thing and do a mini highlight of our very next section. Next paragraph, and we are going to do what they said. Okay, so dialogue. I'm going to highlight. Actually, let's just change the text color, and we'll make it red. All right. All right. Okay. Dialogue. Okay. Action. The crowd cheered. That would be an action, right? So let's make that blue. Crowd cheered. All right. And then we'll keep the last part narrative green. Let's change this to green. And then that becomes an action. We strummed word, an action. I think that makes that a... I don't really have too much narrative in here. Which is good. But I like these changes. It's interesting to see. Okay, let's see if we can do the next paragraph. All right. So in this next part, there is no dialogue. Action. Maybe I should get rid of that and just say the faces blended together. All right. Don't like this at all. Okay, so this is all narrative. Turn to nod. So he turned to nod, that'd be an action. Double take. All right, that's an action. Stare, Jasper, wide dark eyes. That would definitely be an action, right? That kind of makes it feel a little bit more. We have actions, we have lots of dialogue, and then we go in, we have a little bit more narrative with some actions. He begins as he spoke, more and more of the crowd became clear. But the nameless faces blended together. He turned to nod at his bandmates so they could start the first song, and his eyes landed on the most striking person we'd ever seen. All right, and with that means that we are on our break. So we can stare at the lovable Gable. Let me know, how was that last sprint for you? I know that that's pretty hard to decipher. What is dialogue, what is action, what is narrative? And it's very interesting to take a look at that in your writing and be like, oh, I didn't realize that this is what I was doing. And you can kind of change some phrases, how things are to either make it more dialogue or make it more narrative or whatever you need in order to make the scene go by as quickly or slowly as you need it to go. This my last scene was supposed to be a little bit more action-packed as we're introducing the band, and so I am actually really happy with how much balance it actually was. the beginning, I was like, oh, there's not enough narrative. But looking at the next paragraph, it kind of balances it out. So that's really good. Well, it says a really long rest. No worries. We're having so much fun today. And so let's talk about our next sprint a little bit. So this is the first of 2 repeat prompts, and the reason why is because I wanted. I wasn't finished with them, and I figured, well, if I'm not finished with them, maybe somebody else is not finished with them, and maybe they want to do the same thing. And for that prompt is, how does the scene relate to a larger conflict? If the answer is nothing or doesn't, consider deleting or rewriting the scene. At the end of the novel, ask the question, what's at stake here? And on a larger scale, is it enough to keep the story moving forward? I actually wrote, consider doing the same thing, but I actually wrote on little cards and stuff like that. And I, because my scenes alternate POVs, I have them kind of color coded. So you can see my little wonderful color coding that I have going on here. So, yeah. All right. So that's what I did, but I still need to like write out an outline. So that is what we're going to do for this next prompt. Reread each scene or chapter and answer the question, what is at stake here? Okay. Let's go ahead and put 10 minutes on the clock. All right. Let's do that. All right. So. We're having all types of fun with our tech. But you should be sprinting, so pay attention to your paper and what's going on. Okay. So scene 5. What is scene 5? Oh no. Oh jeez. Doesn't like doing tech stuff on the fly. It's so funny. Okay. All right.
All right, that ding means it is time for our break. We are going to enjoy Gable. So tell me, how was that last sprint? How did you do? Also remember, anytime that we're doing this, if one of the other prompts really get you, get you going or whatever, then don't be afraid to just use the sprint as a start and stop timer. Keep going. Do what and then also you can go back and watch the VOD and press pause when you need it. So that way you can really go through. But yeah, somebody had said that they really enjoyed the one where we were going through and highlighting the action versus the narrative versus the dialogue. And they really were enjoying that. And that was really something that they want to do on more of their stories. So definitely do it. It'll really help you. Okay. And the handsome Gable, he's so cute. I can't handle him. He's the sweetest. Okay. For those of you that are just joining us, Gable is a mini Rex. He is 2 years old. He is male, and he is available for adoption through For Angels Animal Sanctuary. They do all types of animals, so they don't just have rabbits, they have dogs and guinea pigs and snakes and bearded dragons and all different types of animals. So, all right, on to our next prompt. This is another one that we are going to be doing again, and that is we are going to trim all of our unnecessary words. We are going to delete words. That's how you know we're not in November anymore. So be ruthless, but like a hairstylist or an arborist, not like a horror movie villain. Ruthless in the name of health and beauty. This can be done on a larger scale, cutting whole chapters or even whole characters that don't contribute to the urgency of your story, or on a smaller scale, cutting extra adjective or sentences that spend 50 words doing what 5 would do just as well. Figure out which large things to cut, read your novel, and mark where the places where you lose interest. If you can't figure out how to ramp them up, cut them.
Figure out which words or sentences to cut, read your whole story out loud, and cut where the story stumbles or drags. That is what we're going to do. We will include, there's also like filter words, words that you can filter out and stuff like that. Words like just, really, things like that that you can search through and see about cutting out. So yeah, let's do it. 10 minutes on the clock. This is enough. Okay, and the song was over. The song ended. Not sure about this. Hmm. I feel like this wasn't as productive for this paragraph, but some paragraphs need more than others. So let's do the next. I hate the words. I hate the words. Going on. Maybe even that paragraph. I don't know. All right, time is up. That means we just completed our 1-hour editing marathon. Fantastic work, everyone. During our next event, we will be going over more of step 7. That's right, we will be progressing finally. And remember, even if you didn't make your goals, you were attempting to put in an effort to write a little bit every day, and that is amazing. Above all, do not get discouraged. Brand new things will always be shiny. The grass is always greener on the other side, and new novel ideas always seem better than the novel you just wrote. That's just the way of life. It's your job to keep working on it, working with it, even if you feel like it's hard or you should just light the draft on fire and throw it off a cliff. Now, you can contact me via NaNoWriMo.org by adding me as a buddy and then messaging me at NaNoWriMo.org/participants/coral-sands. And if you want to keep in touch, you can join our Facebook group, Nano Writers IL, and we're on Tribal Social called Nano Writers. Before I go, I must thank our amazing producer, David McGinnis. I couldn't do any of this without him. Thank you to Tabletop Audio for their amazing music. Please stop by their website. They have a link to their Patreon if you want to support them. And thanks to NaNoWriMo.org for hosting NaNoWriMo. Links to all of our social media are found in the description, so don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you like this content. And I will see you next time. Bye.